So I shadowed at 2 different offices. The first was Simmons Chiropractic, and then the second was Renew Physical Therapy, which were both in Midland. At the chiropractic office, I observed a team of chiropractors as they treated their patients, and these chiropractors specialized in the cervical spine, and the head doctor had actually made his own custom adjustment table, which I thought was interesting. So the patients would come in and they would get something called a thermography scan done, and it essentially lets the doctors know what adjustments need to be made. And so then after that was conducted, the patients would rest their head on the adjustment table and the doctor would perform the proper adjustments. After that, they would then go into a room and rest for about 15 minutes. And then after that time was up, they would come and get rescanned by the thermography, just to ensure that the proper adjustments were made and that the adjustments did what was intended. At the physical therapy office, I kind of sat back and was able to observe the head physical therapist as well as a CMU physical therapy student who was completing his internship. There was also an SVSU student who was there completing their internship, so I was able to see how they got to work directly with the patients under the observation of the physical therapist. I saw how the physical therapist interacted with their patients and the type of exercises they were assigned. There was a plethora of different patients that were seen for different injuries and problem areas. And then in between patients, I was able to ask questions, and I genuinely learned a lot about physical therapy. I enjoyed shadowing at the chiropractor's office because I personally had no previous experience with chiropractors whatsoever, so it was very informational and an educational experience. The physical therapist office was also an amazing experience. Within an hour or so of me shadowing, I knew that I'd made the right decision to switch my major and career path. I had previously had to have physical therapy, but being able to see the physical therapist work with multiple different patients with a variety of different injuries that needed rehabilitation was great. I ended up shadowing 2 days at this office and was able to see them work with new patients as well as previous patients I had already seen, and I got a glimpse of how they progressed through their treatment plans. I saw individuals who had graduated to new exercises or increased their reps of old exercises they had already been assigned. And I also saw individuals who needed to take a step back or just have a more relaxed day of physical therapy due to their pain or discomfort level. Throughout the entire time I shadowed, I was able to see the genuine relationships that the physical therapists were able to develop with their patients, and that is something I personally would like to have in a job. I overall enjoyed my experiences in both settings and thought that these observations were valuable. At the chiropractor's office, the one thing I disliked was the patient interaction level. So the patients probably were in and out of the office in a span of about 15 to 20 minutes, so the appointments were very quick. And the adjustments themselves only took a few seconds or minutes. I'm sure that the chiropractors do have relationships with their clients and patients, but it seems that it would be on a lower level than, say, the physical therapist. I also do not think I'm interested in the spine enough to base my whole career around it. Like I mentioned before, the chiropractors I shadowed specialized in the cervical spine and had a more holistic approach to their work, so it was interesting to hear their philosophy behind it. But I don't think that this is the occupation for me. I genuinely did not dislike anything about my experience shadowing the physical therapy office. It was very exciting for me to observe in the rehabilitation setting at the physical therapist office because that is the field that I want to go into and establish a career in, and this experience really confirmed for me that I'm going into the right field of work for me as a person. And so kinesiology seems to be the right field for me, and I believe that I have chosen the perfect occupation for me.